All right, open wide and say, ah, and I'll check your teeth to make sure they're good. Ha ha ha. Hey, Renee, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm still getting things set up. I'm working on a Swedish beauty right now that I need to get finished, and it has to get back to Texas, and I got to get everything set up. Come on, guys, jump in and help out. I think I need 3 workbenches. 3 workbenches, that's what I need. Yeah. Just 1 more workbench would be great. Then I wouldn't have to tear this down to set this other one up. That's okay. We'll get it done. Hey, look. Mr. Bean is defying gravity. It's like the equinox all over again. You never know, right? That'll work. Oh, hey, Kevin and Doreen. And I already said hello to Renee. Welcome, you guys. Our flock is coming together slowly because I'm doing this a little bit earlier than usual. They'll show up eventually. All right, get ready to be jostled. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. All right, I got it pointing the right way, almost the right way. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, welcome to Misty. I don't know that I've ever seen Misty's name come up on the live chat before, so great to have you here. All right, let's see if I can get the rest of this set up. I've got to get my little chair out here. We're going to be reading stories together. How fun is that? Time to read stories. I'm going to back this up a little bit more. There we go. We're almost getting there, you guys. We're getting so close. How does that look? Do I have it lined up pretty good? I think I do. Yeah, I think we got it lined up pretty good. All right, almost there, almost there. Well, if you haven't been following things real close, then you don't know that this YouTube channel, Cow Country Vintage Sewing, hit 12,000. And every time I hit a major milestone, in other words, every time we gain another 1,000 subscribers, I go ahead and do a contest and giveaway. And sometimes we'll build a fundraiser into that as well. Those of you that follow things real close know that we've done 2 fundraisers so far. We did one for the History Museum down in South Bend, Indiana, when we hit 10,000 subscribers. And then we just did another fundraiser for the local Humane Society here in Oconto County when we hit 11,000 subscribers. And that hasn't been too long ago. So it gives you an idea of how quickly this channel is growing. And it's because of all of you. All of you will, send out the notes to friends and family and others and say, hey, you got to check this channel out. It teaches you about machines and history and about sewing, and it's just fun. And he's got this classroom thing that he talks about where we can learn all kinds of new things. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of cool. So that's Cow Country. And we just hit the 12,000, so it's time for another contest giveaway. And this contest giveaway is built around a town right here called Calico. And as I announced when we hit that milestone, the people that submit writings can choose the city of their choice. There's a number of Calicos historically that have been a part of the United States and even outside of the U.S. But within the U.S., we've got Calico, California, Calico, Tennessee, Calico, West Virginia, Calico, North Carolina, and Calico, South Carolina. I actually remembered it, and I didn't even use a cheat sheet this time. How cool is that? My memory's getting better as I get older. Who knew? Yeah. So the writers have the challenge of creating a story built around a town called Calico. They decide where they want to place it. All 3 of our entries so far, because as I Googled it and looked online about how much information is out there about these past towns, these past cities that were in existence, many of them that obviously kind of established themselves back in the 1800s. The one that has the most information out there is Calico, California. So our 3 entries so far are based in Calico, California, but the storylines are so different. They're crazy different when it comes to what these authors came up with. And I'm really excited to share these entries with you. I'm not going to tell you who wrote them. And if the writer is in this live stream, let's keep it a secret. Don't step out of the shadows and say, hey, that's the one I wrote. Because again, we're trying to maintain some degree of anonymity. Paula Noel, my dear friend from Florida, had come up with the idea of let's try to keep them a little bit anonymous. And so even as I forwarded these entries to the judges, they really don't know who wrote them either. I do because I got the email, but mum's the word. I'm not saying anything. So if you're the author, mum's the word. Don't let the cat out of the bag, the dog out of the bag, the parakeet out of the bag, something out of the bag. Don't let it out of the bag. Let's keep it a secret. And you can just grin like a possum behind the closed scenes of your apartment, your house, your wherever you're at watching this and go, I wrote that. Yeah, I did. I wrote it. I'm the author. Oh, I can't tell anybody. Oh, it's like being a spy. It's like being part of the CIA or the FBI, and you can't tell anyone you're a spy. Same thing here. You can't tell anyone you're the author of one of these incredible stories that I'm going to read very shortly. Very shortly. Yeah, shortly. All right, y'all hang in there. We're almost getting going. Yeah, this is a fun one. What is this called? This song is called Thunder. In case you wondered, now you know. Yeah, Thunder. So if you're watching this right now and you say, you know what, I used to do a lot of writing. Maybe you even majored in some sort of writing thing in college, or you did a lot of it in high school, whatever. It's not too late. And the reason I'm doing this live stream is because the contest giveaway ends 1 week from today. 1 week from today, it ends. So you still have time to jump into the contest and allow myself and the judges to read your incredible, masterful, creative writing piece. Yeah, it's absolutely masterful. It's cool. Oh, hello to Madeline and hello to Emma as well. They have joined the live stream. And Emma is one of the judges for this contest. So you might want to say, hey, Emma, how you doing? Of course, if you didn't write a piece, you probably don't care. But who knows? Maybe you will write a piece. That's what this is all about. And if you write a piece and your creative writing is chosen by the judges, you have your choice of one of these two amazing 170th anniversary limited edition Class 15 machines. They only made so many of these, and then they stopped. And I can tell you from the unboxing I did on these are really quite incredible, considering they're not made from back in the day. They're really gorgeous. And if your writing piece gets selected, either this machine, I'm looking over my shoulder, so I'm actually aiming it in the right direction. Either this machine or this machine could be packaged up from the workshop and shipped to you wherever you are. And again, this contest is open to anyone in the world. Anyone in the world. And all I'm giving you guys a kind of a heads up about is if you're somewhere outside of the US and your creative writing piece gets selected, and then you have your choice of one of these two 170th anniversary Class 15 machines that Singer put out as a big hoopla to celebrate their 170th anniversary. Again, they were established back in 1851. So only about a year ago, we celebrated the 170th anniversary for Singer. I'm just like all over the place. I'm going to make people start throwing up here any second now. There's an earthquake in Calico. Oh, hang on, guys. Hang on. Don't give up. Don't. Yeah, I know I'm being silly, Singer Repairman. I know. But that's a little bit of who I am. So there's Calico right there. But what I was about to say is if you're from outside of the U.S. and you go, yeah, I'd love to win one of the 170th anniversary Class 15 machines. You know what? They really went all out. You know, they came up with a super cool commemorative medallion, a branding mark on the front that has on it 170th anniversary. And then even, and this is not true of any machine that they ever made, even on the faceplate, they embossed the name Singer on this beautiful faceplate as well. So, you know, these weren't haphazardly put together. There was a lot of thought, a lot of caring that was put into preparing these machines as they were approaching that 170th anniversary. Hey, thanks, by the way, for holding the sign up there. What is his name? Is it Larry? Larry the bird? The dude from Florida, the snowbird guy. I think his name is Larry or Barry or Carrie or Derry or something. I have no idea. But he's helping to hold our Calico sign up, which is really, really awesome. Because I want you guys to be reminded about what it is we're writing about. We're writing about this little town right here. And again, you can base it in California. You can base it in West Virginia. You can base it in Tennessee. You can base it in North Carolina, South Carolina. And you can read on Facebook all of the details of what you need to do.
And of course, a part of Calico. Of course. It's like a duh. Larry the Snowbird. Thank you, Emma. Larry the Snowbird, yeah, is helping to hold it up along with the singer repairman. So, along with this town, of course, is none other than Cow Country Vintage Sewing. And you'll hear that mentioned in the stories because that's one of the things you got to do if you write a story and submit it for this contest. You've got to mention Cow Country being an integral part of this town because this town is just deeply rooted in quilting and sewing and everything else creative and crafty. Everything else creative and crafty. So if you're interested in trying to win one of these 170th anniversary Singer Class 15s, you got to check out the contest details and get your essay in. Again, the contest ends 1 week from today. 1 week from today, the contest is over at midnight. And then if you said, doggone it, I wanted to win one of those machines and I blew it. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? But these really are fabulous machines and you really should want to win one. And all you have to do is write a creative piece about Calico, this fictitious town that in some ways is also a factual town because Calico cities existed, like I said, all over the US. And our three authors, I'm going to read their creative pieces today during this live stream. They wrote about Calico, California. And again, I think it's because when you Google Calico, California, there's a lot more. There's even tours of Calico, California that are still going on. You got to pay $8, but then you can go through Calico, California and visit this town, this ghost town that still is open to the public today. Yeah, it is. I have no idea where I'm aiming the camera. No idea, but it's somewhere. Yeah. Let me put on a little bit more music. Our gathering is starting to really come together here. I'm excited because I want as many people as possible to jump into the contest. You got to do it. You got to write a creative piece. It's somewhere between 100 to around 500 words. If you write a little bit more than 500, it's not a big deal. And I mentioned that several times in the Facebook posts. And I can put the link for where you can read all the rules and the details in the description for this live stream. But you can find it all over the place as well. So jump in. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get a quick drink of water, and then I'm going to start reading these amazing stories that these gifted authors have submitted to this contest, okay? Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for mentioning that, Mr. Bean. I totally forgot. Mr. Bean just reminded me about something. You guys know this. I love giving people incentives to get involved with contests. I love to give them extra incentives to get involved. So obviously, if you're the winner of this contest, well, I got to say hello to some more folks too. Hello to Mindy, and hello again to Misty. I've not seen Misty's name before, so I know Emma, one of our leaders, is interacting with her. And I love meeting new people, don't you? And that's the great thing about these live streams and these premieres is you have a chance to see me with my glasses on, which never happens. Oops. So you get to meet new people. And we regularly have people from around the world. So you make new friendships with people that also love vintage sewing machines. And we in the classroom, none of us are teachers all the time, including myself. We learn from each other. All of us have a wealth of experience, and we're sometimes a teacher, but we're always a student in this classroom. So if you're sitting in the shadows right now and you're concerned about stepping out because you're going to be asked a really hard, tricky question or something like that, don't worry about that. This classroom is all about fun. It's about sharing. It's not about judgment, and it's just a neat place to gather and to embrace vintage sewing machines together. Yeah, it is. It is cool. All right, so I've got my drink. So without further ado, and I won't play any music when I'm reading these because I want you to focus on the words of the author. And if you do Facebook, I can tell you that these are not going to be posted on Facebook. That's something that the judges and I decided to do it different this time. In the past, people would post their things right on Facebook, and sometimes they'd even invite their friends and family and pets and woodland creatures and strangers on transit buses and everyone else to like their post. And we're not going to do it that way this time. Even the judges don't know who authored these pieces. And so if you decide, you know what, that really does sound like fun. It's not that hard to write a creative, fun piece about this town of Calico, and I can base it in any of those states that Scott mentioned. Why don't I try to do that? Because then I can try to win one of these really cool limited edition 170th anniversary class 15 Singer sewing machines. You can pick either one. It's up to you. And if you're within the US, with the exception of Hawaii, not only do you get the machine free, but I also will pay for the shipping as well. If you live in Hawaii, you're going to have to share the cost. Or if you're an international entry and you get selected by the judges, you're going to have to help me cover part of the cost of the shipping as well. Because I'm already donating the machine and sharing the cost for Hawaii and international friends. I don't think it's an unreasonable request. I hope it's not, because it's something otherwise I have to cover in full. So kind of like when we did the last contest and the contest before that, I donate a lot of stuff and I love doing that. But in certain extreme situations, I invite that winner to help out a little bit. So at any rate, heads up about that. If you're in Hawaii, if you're outside of the US and you decide to write a creative piece like these authors, then you'll have to share part of the shipping. I'm not going to put it all on your shoulders. We'll share it together. Yeah, we will. All right. So let's see here. All right. So I'm going to pick one of these randomly. I'll pick this one first. And yes, I had them printed and enlarged so I'd be able to read them even easier. So it wouldn't be a strain for me. So while you admire the machines and the town of Calico, I'm going to read this first one to you. And the title of this first one, this one didn't have a title, but I gave it a title. And that way it makes it a little bit easier for the judges as well when they're looking, because I emailed all of these three stories to them, and it makes it easier for them to judge the contest as well. Yeah. Oh, hey, Bill. Welcome to Bill O'Rourke, my dear friend from Kissimmee, or if you're Oxford English, Kissimmee, Florida. And Bill is also one of the judges. So again, if you want to mail Bill and Emma and Paula and Veronica from Texas, if you want to mail them a little box of chocolate or something, you might, I don't know. So here's the first story, and the judges that are present have already read these stories, but you haven't heard them yet, so I want to share it with you. So this first one is titled Heartbeat of a Town. And the author writes, if you close your eyes and quiet your mind, you can feel the soul and heart of any town. In the California mountains of the Mojave Desert sits the ghost town of Calico. In the early 1800s, Calico was a thriving silver mining town, bustling with the activities of miners and their families. Like everything of monetary worth, the silver once
so eagerly mined from the land lost its value. Miners and their families drifted to more desirable places until eventually the little town became abandoned. Calico was a happy place, and despite being labeled a ghost town, fond memories of industrious activities comforted him. Of course, towns can't pull up their roots and chase greener pastures, nor the people they once supported. They are forever bound to the earth to which they were born. Only the sounds of empty wind, transient birds, and an occasional creak and clap of an uh, irrelevant door kept him company. Still, for 120 years, he felt his heart was missing and he longed for it. One spring day, a man and his son took a wrong turn and stumbled into Calico. They were on their way to somewhere when the desert town caught their imagination. You know, said the man to his son, all this town needs are a couple of clever carpenters. Both made their living building homes, so they stayed to see what could be done with the old buildings. By the end of spring, two young families explored Calico. In front of a picnic spread, one family said to the other, you know, all this town needs are farmers to plant fields and vegetables. The families sent for their equipment and seeds to see what could be planted. Summertime brought two roommates looking for an adventure. One roommate said, you know, all this town needs are sewists to make clothes, quilts, and textiles. As it happened, they were both good with a needle and sewing machines. They even hung a quilt shop shingle. Soon, skilled crafters were drawn to Calico, artists, painters, teachers, and quilters. A quaint barn houses a talented mechanic which keeps the cars running, a pie shop that boasts the largest sweetest pies, not Swedish, sorry about that, sweetest pies in the country is snuggled next door. The woman who owns the mercantile tends the register, while her shy son stocks shelves, sweeps floors, and feeds the store cat. Greeting visitors at the town entrance sits Cow Country Vintage Sewing Machines and Restoration. The shop keeps the sewing machines humming, while Scott and his entourage are the welcoming committee for advice and friendship. Cow Country is the hub of the town center. Everyone who walks through the doors visits long and leaves with a smile, and often a vintage sewing machine. I like that part a lot. Ghost was dropped from his name as Calico, was transformed. Those who brought the gifts to the town worked with their hands and spirits to reimagine and rebuild a community. Calico knew that community is what makes up the heart of a town, and Calico's was beating again. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that a lovely piece? And that one, again, for your benefit and for the benefit of the judges, is titled Heartbeat of a Town. Heartbeat of a Town. Okay, I'm going to get a quick drink, put on a little bit of music, kind of wet my whistle, and then I'll read the next one. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. I think that's a fabulous, fabulous piece. Heartbeat of a Town. And I'm sure as hard as I tried to read it with the heart and intent of the author, I'm sure I didn't do as well as that author did. And as we had done with a previous contest, when the judges and myself decide eventually which of these creative pieces is going to be chosen, we all vote on them, and we ultimately pick that one by vote. I'm going to reach out. Hold on a second. This song is getting very excited. There we go. Turned it down a little bit. So once that winner is selected by the judges, I'm going to call that winner and have them read it over the phone. I'll kind of use the phone, the live stream, blah, blah, blah. And that way we can actually hear the author read their piece. I hope, and I know the judges do as well. I hope that we don't end up with only these 3 entries. I hope we don't, because there are so many creative, intelligent, passionate people that frequent Cow Country Vintage and attend these live streams, and they participate on Facebook, and they're all over the place, and they're incredibly gifted. We could have a bazillion entries, but I know it takes time. It takes time. You gotta put your life on pause, and you've got to grab that pen and paper, or sit down to that computer, and type out that story, and then send it to me by email, and then I can share it with the judges. And again, there's not a lot of rules for this contest. The minimum is 100 words for this creative piece, and you can write anywhere between 100 to 500. But like I said, if you go over 500 within reason, if you go over 500 within reason, you're not going to be penalized. You're not. So sit down and let your creative juices flow and write something amazing about the town of Calico, whether you base it like these 3 authors did in California, or whether you really step out on the limb and you base it in West Virginia. Maybe you're from West Virginia, or you base it in Tennessee. A number of our regulars are from the Tennessee area. Or if you base it maybe in North Carolina or South Carolina. So it's totally up to you. And then the only other requirements is in the story, kind of build the town, talk about the shops, talk about the people, and talk about Cow Country and how it plays an integral role in that town, if I can speak. And if I missed anything else, the judges can type it into the chat if there's any other parameters for the contest. Between 100 to 500 words ish. Again, if it's over 500, a little bit, no big deal. Write about the town, incorporate Cow Country into the story. Judges, help me out if I'm missing other things that I mentioned. Just type into the chat for the live stream, because we do have chat replay on this as well. And that way, if anybody watches this after the live stream, they can see what other parameters there are. But again, it's posted on Facebook multiple times, and you can read there as well what the parameters of the contest are. So it's really not a complicated contest, not at all. So, all right, blah 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 blah. Oh, I wanted to do one other fun thing, and tell you that right now in the middle here, where you can see the town of Calico, and on the left and on the right, you've got 170th anniversary edition Class 15 machine. These are the prizes that the winner will be able to pick one or the other of these 2. But you know what? I wanted to do something else unexpected and fun, and kind of catch you guys off guard. I'm even catching the judges off guard because they don't know this yet. But some people, when they look at later models like this that Singer put out, and again, I emphasized during the unboxing of these machines, when I took them onto the original Singer boxes, that I was really impressed with how these machines were made. But they're not authentically vintage sewing machines. They're made to look vintage because they have that Class 15. They have those Class 15 characteristics that you would see on any of the Singer Class 15s. And again, if you've never been in a class before, I can tell you there's a bazillion Class 15 style Singer machines, starting all the way back in the 1800s with the 15-1. And I won't rattle through all of those during this live stream, but I was really impressed with how they were made. But I'm going to add another thing to the equation now, just to add a little bit more fun and surprise to this contest. So I'm really tempted to say, I've got to jump into this contest because I need to figure out and find out, what is this Scott guy talking about that he's going to be offering the winner the choice of either picking one of these two machines, or there's going to be a mystery machine that I will tell you was made in Switzerland, and it is vintage. It was made in Switzerland. It is absolutely vintage. Okay, I'll give you one more huge clue. You don't have to operate with a foot controller. You can operate it with a knee controller that's built into the machine. I'm giving a lot of stuff away here. I got to zip my lips before I give the whole thing away. But imagine in this space that there is a mystery machine. If that winner says, I think these are awesome, but I really don't want one of the, one of these commemorative models that's not genuinely vintage. Sure looks vintage, but it's not. I want to go for that mystery machine that was made in Switzerland that you can operate with a knee controller. Then that'll be up to that winner. That'll be up to the winner. So imagine right here between Larry, the snowbird guy, and the Singer repairman, there is a really cool case, because it's going to come with a case as well. There's a very cool case, and inside of there is a vintage, an authentically vintage Swiss machine that you can operate with a knee controller. You can certainly operate it, if with a few adaptations, you could operate it with a foot controller as well, but it's set up as a knee controller. And a lot of people love knee controlled machines. They just do. So judges, I want to apologize to all of you that are present that I didn't tell you about this, but I had the epiphany. I had the inspiration while I was down here. And those of you that were right at the beginning of the live stream know that this wasn't set up like this at the very beginning of the live stream. You can rewind and watch. I had a Husqvarna from 1959 on the workbench, torn down into pieces, and I had to move all of that stuff off the workbench very quickly, vacuum off the workbench, and then set up the town of Calico. Thank goodness for the Singer repairman and Larry, the snowbird, holding up the city, the town right now. And then I brought these machines over real quick and set up the backdrop for this live stream. But it's always busy in the workshop. And so, just imagine that hum is always going on, and I'm racing from one thing to another. You can't see it, but behind me right now is a 201-2 that's also getting the workshop magic as well. So just it's crazy. But I wanted to add that into the mix. So pass the word. Maybe one of you can go on the Facebook and say, hey, did you hear about the surprise mystery machine that's part of this contest now as well? So again, imagine it here. Use your imagination. Close your eyes if you have to. There's a beautiful case and a Swiss vintage sewing machine that can be operated by the knee controller. There it is. There it is. Right there. About that tall, I think. Yeah. Right about. Yep, there it is. All right. Stop my silliness and let's get on to the next story. But before I do that, I'm going to see if I want to greet anybody else that's popped into the live stream. I think I greeted almost everybody, but probably not everybody. Welcome to Stephen as well. Welcome to Stephen. And if I missed anyone else, I've got so much of the leadership team here. I've got Bill, and I know Emma's here. I don't know if Paula is here or if Sunny probably won't be here. If you guys didn't hear, I'll share this real quick. You guys know I bounce all over the place. If you didn't hear, Sunny was supposed to be one of the judges for this contest, for us hitting 12,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. But when I reached out to her, because I hadn't seen her for quite a while, she said, Scott, I'm getting additional chemo right now, and it's really knocking me out. And I said, if you want to bow out of being a judge, it's okay. We understand. We love you. We don't want you to stretch yourself further than you should. And she said, you know what? That would be great. So I posted something on Facebook, and almost right away, Veronica Oyama stepped out. She's down in Texas. And she said, Scott, I'd be happy to be a judge for this contest. So she is. And she's going to join Bill and Emma and Paula
and did I say Bill already? Yeah, I said Bill and myself. She's going to join all the other judges. So if anyone sees Veronica pop up in this um, live chat, in the live chat, in this live stream, let me know that. I'd like to thank her publicly as well, because she's a school teacher and a busy lady down in Texas, and for her to step out right away and say I'll help out, that's big to me. I love it when folks are willing to do that, lend a hand. So all right, let me read you the next story. These stories are fabulous. I hope you enjoyed the first one. Again, hold on a second. What do they call it? The heartbeat of a town is the first one that I read, which I think is just super duper. Super duper. All right. Let me read the next one. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to read the next one, and it's called Missing the Old Times. Missing the Old Times. Okay, here we go. Let me move out of the way a little bit so you can see the town of Calico, and imagine as you're listening to the words of this author talking about this incredible, quaint little town. So, Missing the Old Times is the title of this second one. Oh, the old times in Calico, California, that is. We were booming a while back, hauling tons of silver out of those colorful hills, hence the origin of the town's name. Our little town was a bustling place of industry and creativity. Back then, if you didn't have something, you made it yourself. Sure, we had potters, ironworks, candle makers, and millers. We even had our own specialty shops to keep things humming. One place in particular was our Cow Country sewing machine shop that not only the sewers frequented, but anyone needing machinist repairs. While we didn't have many cows around our parts, Scott, the owner, came from Cow Country back east. His shop was nestled between the dry goods shop and the Calico Cafe. Lil's Saloon was across the street. Saturdays were busy from dawn to dusk in that little corner of town. Mornings saw a busy cafe and dry goods traffic flow. Afternoons had Cow Country patrons that stopped in for supplies and chats with Scott. Evenings, the clientele moved across the street to the saloon. While mostly men went inside, their wives strolled out front, noting whose horses were stitched out front. I love that. Those caught were dragged into church the next morning. I can hear Bill laughing down in Florida right now. This is great. We had many repeat offenders in church every Sunday. In those days, everyone shared or bartended any extras to be had. Oh, I apologize. Let me read. I totally messed that line up. They didn't bartend. They bartered. Let me read that line again. I totally goofed that up. In those days, everyone shared or bartered any extras to be had, from leftover fabric scraps, fruits and vegetables from the garden, candle stubs, and eggs from their chickens. Nothing went to waste. I was always careful in August to make sure visitors didn't sneak a big bag of squash by the door. We all had too much as it was, so it was a favorite game played by all. You can eat just so much zucchini bread. We had our share of drama too, aside from the hanky panky at Lil's Saloon. When my boy was little, he got in trouble with his teacher at school. She wrote a note for him to take home and have your mother sign this and bring it back tomorrow. The next day, he returned to school with the note. It was signed, Mother. Well, I had to put on my nice purple dress and get him into his Sunday black pants for a visit with his teacher. Secretly, I was thankful in a way because I knew my son didn't have a cunning criminal mind and wouldn't wind up in the sheriff's jail anytime soon. Our life was hard work, but our rewards came from finishing projects and enjoying our beautiful spot in Calico, enjoying the night stars in the sky, watching the garden sprout into vegetables, all shapes and colors, new kittens chasing moths and snakes, up early with the sun, coffee in hand, and roosters crowing, ending the day snuggled under my patchwork quilts. I guess now they would call us living off grid. But back then there was no grid, and everyone got by some way or another. I miss the old times. And that was again by one of our authors for this contest, and it's titled Missing the Old Times. Beautifully done. Don't you agree? I'm going to get another drink of water, throw a little bit of quick music on just so I can have something going on instead of you just listening to silence. If I can find, there we go. I think I got it. Almost got it. Ooh. I'm trying to imagine this music being played in Calico, but I can't quite get there. But you never know. Maybe in one of the garages. Got some young people jamming it out. Yeah. All right, I'm going to get a quick drink and then we'll read the last story that the judges and I have at this point. Gosh, and I know Bill and Emma and Paula and Veronica and Sunny, even though she's kind of taking a step back for this, all of the judges and myself are hoping and hoping and hoping that we'll get more folks that step out and take the little bit of time that's needed to be able to author a fun piece like you've heard the two of them already, and soon we'll hear this third one. And then you'll get a chance to win your choice of one of these 270th anniversary Class 15 machines that Singer put out. And if you do Facebook, I've got really detailed pictures of these machines on Facebook. They are gorgeous. But in the end, if you're the winner, if the judges pick you and all of our votes shine on your writing piece, you can pass on these two and you can go with that mystery machine that I told you. Visualize it right here in the middle. It's a Swiss vintage machine, amazing, and you can operate it with a knee controller. Oh my goodness gravy, do you want this machine if you pass on one of these two? Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Oh my gosh. Amazing, amazing machine. All right. Anybody else I need to say hello to? I think I've said hello to everybody. I believe so. All right. Let's read this last one. I'm going to get one more drink of water and then I'll put this music on pause. And we'll hear this final author's incredible creative piece talking about their version of Calico, which also happens to be California as well. So, all right, let me put this on pause. All right, we're on pause. All right, and I'm kind of moving out of the way so as part of this live stream, you can see those machines and visualize that other mystery machine in the middle. And also, very importantly, focus on this beautiful town of Calico and think about it. Think about it, think about it, think about it of writing your own creative piece and getting it to the judges and myself. The contest ends again 1 week from today at midnight. 1 week from today at midnight. You've got plenty of time to write a creative piece. You got a ton of time. I think one of the authors that reached out to me and sent the creative piece in said when they sat down to write it, the ideas were just flowing so fast that they were able to knock out this piece in a fraction of the time that they thought it would take them. A fraction of the time. And that may be the same thing for you. Don't fear writer's block. Look at this beautiful town. Look at the people of the town. Close your eyes and imagine your calico. Imagine your calico. Just like this next author that I'm about to read. And this next author titled their creative piece, Grandmother's Legacy. Grandmother's Legacy. All right, let me read this one to you. I've got dust all over my glasses from working on that Husqvarna. All right, here we go. Grandmother's Legacy. One of my favorite things was when the delivery wagon stopped in front of Lane's Mercantile here in our little town of Calico, California. I'm not sure who gave this rough and tumble little mining town its name. Whoever it was must have looked out over the hills and valleys surrounding the mine and been reminded of a colorful piece of calico cloth that was worn by a pretty girl they once loved. When the sun shone high in the afternoon, the surrounding land took on the look of a patchwork quilt. Nestled in a little valley was our little town that had sprung up out of nothing. Many folks moved here because of the mine and the chance to strike it rich with the silver found here. 2 years ago, when Uncle Joe and I decided to settle here, there was already an assessor's office and a saloon. Uncle Joe knew that the town would need a general store that would carry all the things folks would need as they settled here. He and my papa had run a general store back in Boston before Papa died. They both had a good head for business and did very well with their store. Uncle Joe inherited this shop, but was not happy working there without Papa as his partner. Uncle Joe wanted to start fresh somewhere new, and that's when we made our move to Calico. When Uncle Joe and I stepped out onto the porch of the Mercantile, the delivery driver was already untying the ropes that held all the parcels in place. The two horses hitched to the wagon snorted and stomped, anxious to get a little treat. After so many deliveries to their store, they came to recognize me. I gave them each a couple of sugar cubes, an apple, and a scratch behind their ears. Then I had to take my turn bringing in the parcels we had ordered. I managed all the smaller and lighter ones that I could carry and piled them up on the counter inside. Uncle Joe and the driver hoisted boxes and barrels of supplies and carried them to the back of the store. There was one item in the wagon that was carefully wrapped in a thick blanket tied with rope. It wasn't very big, but was too heavy for me to lift on my own. Uncle Joe lifted it from the wagon and carefully placed it on the counter inside. Just then, our friend Scott Geller arrived to see what had just been delivered. He owned the Cow Country Sewing and Repair Shop just up the street. He was almost as anxious to see what was inside the package as I, but I already knew what it was. It was both a sad and happy moment as we unwrapped the package. Grandmother had passed on a few months earlier, and many of her belongings had been sold or given away, except this one. She had stated in her will that it was to be handed down to me. I stood in awe as the wrapping fell away to reveal the beautifully polished walnut cover that, when removed, revealed the shiny black and gold sewing machine that was my grandmother's most prized possession. My grandmother was a skilled seamstress and took great pride in the beautiful things she had sewn during her lifetime. She taught me how to sew during the time I had lived with her. My eyes welled up with tears of those memories as I ran my fingers over the glossy black finish
and golden swirls decorating the wondrous machine. It could be cranked by hand using the pearly white handle that made the needle go up and down through cloth that would become something wonderful to wear. Frilly curtains or patchwork quilt. My heart was filled with pride knowing that this lovely machine was now mine to use, and I could continue on with my grandmother's legacy. And then at the bottom, there's a little inscription. It says, an excerpt from Sarah Lane Macaulay's diary, May 5th, 1884. Isn't that a lovely tale? All three of these tales, or stories as you will, really give you an idea of what Calico might be like, right? Whether it's the first one I read, The Heartbeat of a Town, or Missing the Old Times, or Grandmother's Legacy, you're just as able as these very talented souls to write an amazing piece about the town of Calico. And even just writing it for the sake of fun, even if you're not motivated so much by, I can win one of these really cool 170th anniversary limited edition Class 15 machines that Singer put out, or that mystery machine in the middle, just because you want to showcase your talent and mesmerize myself and the judges as to the tale that you can spin and give us a vision and a way of imagining what that town may have been like. It may be totally different than what these authors wrote. It may not be in California. Maybe it's in West Virginia. Maybe it's down in Tennessee. Maybe it's out in North Carolina or South Carolina. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. And again, all of the particulars are posted on Facebook. And I'll try to remember after this live stream to post something in the description here so that if you aren't a regular Facebook frequenter, you can go there and you can click on the link from YouTube and you can read all the particulars of what you need to do. Again, the contest, I think, is quite simple. You envision yourself as wanting to tell the tale of this town of Calico, wherever you place it. And that creative piece you write can be as little as 100 words, or it can be 500 plus words, telling the tale of what did you experience. You can also put yourself into the story. Maybe you run that general store and you talk about your experience of living in that town. Or maybe you're a little child and you tell the tale of seeing your grandparents or your mom and dad running one of those shops in the town and what you witnessed, what you experienced, telling that tale. You can fashion the story however you want. And I can tell you that these three authors that already have submitted their stories, each one of the judges said, wow, amazing. And you can write something just as amazing. So don't be daunted by, oh my gosh, I need to write something. I need to write a creative piece. How can I do that? You can do it. Absolutely. Just close your eyes and imagine what that town of Calico is all about. Talk about the people, talk about the shops, talk about what you experienced maybe while you were visiting the town, or one of your relatives lives there and they write you letters all the time about Calico, and you're kind of retelling the stories that that family member or friend has sent you through their own letters, documenting the history of this town. You can write it futuristically, like our one author, The Heartbeat of a Town, talking about that ghost town in California being reborn, coming back to life again. Or you could write about it back in the 1800s and talk about what that town was like to live there, like some of our authors alluded to in their pieces. It's up to you. You're in charge of what you write. And I know the judges and myself would be elated to get more creative stories coming in. We've only got a week left. It sounds like a lot of time. It is,
But time passes quick, doesn't it? The busy work week, if you have families you've got to manage as well, or you have other things pulling at your sleeves saying, you know, look at me, look at me. You're going to have to chisel out that time. You're going to have to put your life on pause and sit down in a quiet place, maybe away from home, and go to a coffee place or go somewhere else and bring your laptop, or if you like writing it longhand, bring a couple pieces of paper and write it longhand and tell us about Calico. I know all the judges that are even in this live stream, they could echo exactly what I'm saying. And I'm not looking at the live stream because they probably are saying, step out of the shadows and amaze us with a brilliant story that you can write as well. You know, all of these authors, they're not full-time professional authors. One of them, I think, does writing, but the other two, they just sat down and closed their eyes and let their imagination run wild on what Calico is all about. What is the town? What are the people? So I hope you'll take a swing at it. I really do. And you'll throw your hat into the ring, even if you're not motivated by winning something. You're just motivated by sharing your tale of this little town of Calico. Yeah. And if I missed anything, the judges can capture it over there in the live chat, because I think that this is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity. A lot of YouTube channels, they're they call us creators. I always kind of cringe at the idea of being called a creator, because there's only one creator, and it's not me. That's for sure. And those of you that are of faith, you know exactly what I'm saying. But let me just say that there are a lot of YouTube channels that they'll do a little something when they hit a milestone of getting another 1,000 subscribers on their channel, but they don't do it the way we do it. And I think we do it right. We do it right because we make it a celebration, we make it a big deal, but it couldn't be a big deal without all of you, either in this live stream right now or those tens of thousands that are going to watch this afterwards. You're the ones that make us reach that milestone. And again, to all of you that frequent the Cow Country channel on YouTube, and I know that you're out there because I look at the analytics, and I've told all of you this. We get excited when we hit 12,000 subscribers, and we should. That's a big deal in a niche space like vintage sewing machines. That's a real big deal. But when I look at the analytics, we have on average anywhere from 30 to 80,000 unique visitors on the Cow Country YouTube channel every 28 days. Every 28 days, we have as much. And during the pandemic, we were over like 130,000 unique visitors to the YouTube channel every month, watching videos, watching live streams now that we started doing that a while back. So imagine if just a fraction of those folks, just a fraction, and some of you might be sitting in the shadows right now, and I'm shaking my finger at you, because all you have to do is when you come to that landing page is just click subscribe. Imagine where we would be at if just a fraction of those folks that come to the channel all the time, from as many as, and many of you that follow, and I've even posted pictures of the analytics to say it's true, I'm not making it up. We have almost 126 countries that follow this YouTube channel as well. 126 countries. Somewhere between 30 to 80,000 unique visitors a month. We could blast this out of the water. We could be at, who knows? We could be at 50,000 subscribers if everybody all of a sudden just said, okay, I'm tired of hearing this guy talk. I'm going to click subscribe and get it over with. Just click it. No one's going to bother you. No one's going to come and show up on your porch and try to sell you Amway. They might, but it won't be us. All you're going to do is you're going to get VIP notifications of live streams like this. You're going to get notifications of other things relating to Cow Country. And you can just elect to delete them if you don't want to look at them. but it's going to give you immediate notification when something's going on. So I think it's worth it, don't you? So one of you, 30,000 to 80,000 unique people, because you're all unique, that come to the channel every month, every 28 days, and never click subscribe. Would you do that, please? Click subscribe and do that. And at the same time, wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter. Sit down and write about Calico and email it to me. And I think all the judges know my email. Everybody knows my email. Everybody knows my cell number. I get calls from all around the world. I'll all of a sudden see United Kingdom, Africa, something like that. So, I mean, I'm an open book. But if one of the leaders is able to, otherwise I'll do it when I get done, blah, blah, blah. If one of the leaders is able to put my email into the chat right now, scottgellerms@gmail.com, scottgellerms@gmail.com, that would be great. That way you at least know where to send the creative piece, because that's where you send it. And then I shoot it out from there to the judges so that they can begin looking at that story, absorbing it. Again, the 3 stories that I just shared with all of you for the first time, the judges have already read those stories and they were amazed. So I'm hoping more of you will step out and say, yeah, I can write fun stuff, and write yourself a story. You've only got a week to do it. You only have a week. And this contest ends 1 week from today at midnight. So I hope you take advantage of it. I try to be thoughtful about these milestones that we reach, because I know it's a big deal to all of us. All of you and encourage me. All of you give me the wind beneath my wings so that I can continue doing what I'm doing. I couldn't do it without all of you. There's no way could I do it without all of you. So I'm hoping that more of you, either clicking subscribe or submitting a story, will take a step forward and say, I want to join you guys. You're a fun group. I can't tell you how many newbies, how many new folks that have popped up at a live stream like this or popped up at a premiere have said, oh my gosh, you guys are such a fun group. I feel so welcomed. I feel so accepted. I've learned so much. And that's what this classroom is all about. So I'm hoping more of you that right now, are in the shadows will step into the live chat as well and say, hey, I'm so-and-so from Calico, California. And I love the fact that you're writing about my little town. I don't know if I think there are people living there in Calico, California right now. Again, they have tours all the time. You give them $8 and they walk you through the whole town. So kind of cool. I might put that on my bucket list. And if anybody wants to join me on a road trip after this contest is wrapped up, and all of us have a little bit, maybe during the summertime, a little bit of breathing room, we could all take a road trip to Calico, California. Yeah. I might do that. I might just do that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you to everybody that jumped on this live stream, and to all of you that will watch this afterwards as the authors of the 3 pieces that the judges and I have already had the privilege and honor to read. We've already had the privilege and honor to read those pieces. We're hoping for a lot more. So again, put your life on pause, find yourself a quiet spot, or maybe you're like me, you like music playing when you're being creative, then crank some music on. Kind of like I'm going to do right now. Crank some music on and write something amazing that the judges and I can enjoy. I'm trying to put music on right now. I really am. Ha ha ha! Yeah, baby. Maybe this is the type of music you listen to when you're being creative. If it is, put your hands together. Yeah. All right, let me get out of the way. And I'll just show you a little bit. Before I do that, I'll just show you a little bit closer. Again, 170th anniversary. All right, Mystery Machine. Mystery Machine right here. Made in Switzerland. Knee controlled. Vintage. There it is, right there. Right there. That's kind of fun. And there's Calico. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all enjoy a little bit more chat time. I'm going to do a couple things. And in a little bit, I'll end the live stream. But again, when the live stream ends, you can still chat for a period of time before YouTube times it out. I don't know how long they let it stay live after a live stream until they time it out. But if you're in the middle of a chat or you're reaching out to somebody and say, hey, you can do that for a little bit, even after the live stream ends. Okay. So 12,000 subscribers. I haven't done this for a while. $12,000 subscribers is worth ringing the bell for. And again, thank you to the authors that have already submitted their essays. Thank you to the judges for, in their busy lives, setting a time aside so they can read. And I know these folks very well. They're not going to read the creative piece once. They're probably going to read it multiple times over the course of this contest and just really soak it in so that when a week from today comes, we can all have a huddle as judges, and Bill can say, this is where I'm going. This is who I'm voting for. Veronica can say that as well. Emma can say that. Paula can say that. And then finally, I'll say to the judges, this is who I picked. And then we'll make the big announcement. So with that, God bless you guys. Have a great rest of your evening. And again, please jump into this contest and write something fun about the town of Calico. Calico, yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. That's really a mellow song. I wasn't counting on that. Everybody's going to... Oh, there we go. Yeah, you guys were teasing us a little bit. Yeah, that's more fun. Yeah, you're welcome, Bill. Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for being a judge, my friend. I appreciate it. All right. Oh, that's a better shot. I like that better. Yeah. Still a little bit low, but that's fine. So again, the pieces that I shared tonight, I'll just show you guys real quick. Missing the Old Times. Heartbeat of a Town. Heartbeat of a Town. Grandmother's Legacy. All right. What is yours going to be titled? What is yours going to be titled? If you watch this live stream afterwards, I'm issuing a challenge. I'm issuing you a challenge. The judges are issuing you a challenge. Get out your pen and paper. Get out your crayon. Get out your magic marker. Get out your highlighter. Get out your laptop. Get out your tablet. Whatever it is. And write a story like this and send it to me.
Gosh, I'm so excited to read. I know the judges are what you wrote. I'm so excited. Do it. Do it now. Yeah, do it right now. Yeah. Just leave the live stream right now and grab your pen and start writing. Just start writing. Yeah. Yeah, you should do that. Yeah, brilliant. All right. I think I'll end the live stream now. Almost. All right. Somebody for fun. I know that we've really whittled down to about 5 folks or so that are on the live stream. Somebody give me a countdown starting with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. At 0, I'll end the live stream, or pretty close to that. All right. So somebody do that. Somebody give me a countdown. I'm guessing it's probably going to be Emma because she's like a crackerjack, but it might be Bill. It could be somebody else. All right, give me a 5-second countdown. 5-second countdown. Ah, there she goes. I knew she would. Ha ha ha. 4, 3. Oh my gosh. 2. And remember, coming all the way down to 0. Down to 1. Oh man, here we go. See you guys. God bless.